All 50 US states are on high alert this weekend for fear of armed protests against the election of Joe Biden as president. Around 25,000 National Guard troops are being sent to help secure the capital, Washington, D.C., before Wednesday's inauguration. It's feared violent extremist groups are targeting the city. The FBI has also warned of possible protests in every state capital.
They're heading to Washington, D.C. from all over the country. National Guard troops, in this case from Washington State in the far northwest of the U.S. They'll join thousands of other so-called weekend warriors to secure the inauguration. All of them military-trained men and women given time away from their regular jobs to serve where needed. Their presence is requested in the capital city and much appreciated by Capitol Police, who were overrun on January 6th in a siege of the Capitol building. They're also appreciated by residents here.
In the back of your head, you know why they're here, and that's a little bit, nerve-wracking and also, disappointing that the city's sort of been turned upside down as a result of what happened a couple weeks ago.
It's been really scary because we're concerned not only for the Capitol and the buildings, the White House, the neighborhoods, because we live just very, very close to here.
The stage is set on the steps of the Capitol building for Wednesday's inauguration ceremony, an event that normally draws tens or hundreds of thousands. This time, the numbers will be sharply reduced. Indeed, most thoroughfares, including Pennsylvania Avenue connecting the White House to the Capitol, are already shut to most vehicle and pedestrian traffic.
And it just feels very bizarre. It feels like a ghost town.
Well, it is jarring, but I understand. I mean, we had American terrorists that were trying to, create problems.
It's not only Washington, D.C. concerned about violent attack. Minnesota's snowy capital, indeed the capitals of all 50 states, are beefing up security for protests that could go well beyond the ordinary. Remaining National Guard are on standby should the run-up to the presidential inauguration or the day itself turn ugly.
I'm joined now by Taylor Millard. He's correspondent for NBC News Radio in Dallas, Texas. Taylor, all 50 states on high alert now for armed protests this weekend. What's the situation where you are in Texas?
Well, there were some protesters who showed up at the Texas State Capitol on Saturday. They discovered a very closed Capitol. The state Capitol was closed down on Friday, just days after it actually reopened to the public for the start of the latest legislative session. The Texas House GOP, which is the ruling party in the state government, has said it's a temporary situation and they expect the Capitol to be back open soon.
There are thousands of National Guard troops now in Washington to secure the Biden inauguration on Wednesday. We've seen amazing pictures of them sleeping inside the Capitol building. I mean, how do Americans feel about seeing their capital under what is essentially a military lockdown?
It's a pretty interesting situation to see. A lot of people are pretty freaked out by it, or at least sorry and annoyed that D.C. is in lockdown. I've talked to a couple people in D.C. who've said they're completely over the situation. They want the area to open back up. It's a little unnerving when you see roads blocked and bridges shut down and the National Mall closed, and people are just tired of it. They're ready to get back to some semblance of normal.
You can imagine. Now, once Joe Biden is indeed inaugurated on Wednesday, do you think the situation will improve there? A gradual acceptance among Trump supporters that he has lost and that Biden is the legitimate president?
One would think so. There are Trump supporters already on social media who are saying, okay, it's time to focus on the next election, which is obviously 2022, and getting a Republican majority in the House and Senate. There are obviously still going to be some holdouts who believe that the President-elect Joe Biden was illegitimately elected. Obviously, there are investigations which have happened into whether voter fraud was found or not, and nobody's found anything. One thing the Republican Party is expected to focus on is, again, election security going into the next few years in hopes of some sort of calmer area and some more secure area when it comes to the next sorts of congressional and presidential elections.
All right, NBC's Taylor Millard speaking to us from Dallas, Texas. Thank you.
Thank you.